So don't worry. All these wicked people, they're going to be taken out. So we don't have to worry about anything. And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. The Messiah shall unto them, have ye understood all these things? They say unto him, Ye Lord. Then say unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of this treasure things new and old. It came to pass that when the Messiah had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, and so much that they were astonished, and said, Whence hath this man this kingdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not this his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas, and his sisters? Are they not all with us? Whence then have this man all these things? So they saying, when have this man done all these things, the Messiah? And they were offended. I'm sorry, they were offended in him. But the Messiah said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. And I came back home to be near my people in my city of Memphis, and yet I have no honor among my people in Memphis. So it's just sad. I came back here for Memphis, and it's just sad. But I'm still love Memphis and its people. I still believe in Memphis, and I came back to be among my people. Chapter 14. At that time, Herod the tetrarch heard of the fame of the Messiah, and said unto his servants, This is John the Baptist. He is rising from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John, and bound him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them, and pleased Herod, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charter. You see this nonsense? And the king was sorry, because he loved John the Baptist. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, he had to keep his word. This one time I would have broke my oath. And them which sought with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison, and his head was brought in a charger, and given to the damsel. And she brought it to her mother, and his disciples came and took up the body, and buried it, and went and told the Messiah. When the Messiah heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And the Messiah went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. And see, that's why we have to show compassion sometimes. The Messiah showed a lot of compassion. So in order to walk in his ways, you have to show compassion. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. But the Messiah said unto them, They need not depart, give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, Bring them here to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And I'm thinking that's what the Most High gonna do to us when he allowed the wicked to take food away from the stores and out the fields. This is what we got to do. The ones that following him, we're going to have to take the little bread we have, and we're going to have to bless it and break it and pray to our God in heaven, our Most High. And he's going to make multitude and allow us to feed the people. So that's why I don't ever fear of all the things they take. The little stuff that I do have, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray and let the Messiah, let the Most High do what he do best. Feed multitudes. And they did all eat and were filled. And they took up of the fragments that remained 12 basketfuls. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men. See, 5,000 men besides women and children. And that's what I think the Most High is going to do for us. And straightway, for those who believe, the weak, that's what he's going to do for us. So keep believing. Have faith. And straightway the Messiah constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. That's why we have to go to ourselves and pray each day and spend time with the Most High. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the 4th watch of the night, the Messiah went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled. Why be troubled, you all? Y'all saw the things he done, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. See, they were being tested, and they cried out for fear, even though they saw all these things that our Messiah had shown them. So don't worry if you don't have faith. They didn't even have faith. They didn't even have a mustard seed of faith. So he's teaching us, just have faith. Keep having faith. Don't let fear take over. Fear is one of our enemies. But straightway the Messiah spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid. He shouldn't have to tell them that. They the disciples. Come on now. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to the Messiah. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. He was afraid. And beginning to sink. His faith had left, and he began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me, or strong. And immediately the Messiah stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And he's letting them know, if you didn't even doubt, you wouldn't have sunk. And that's why he's telling us, when we don't have faith, that's why we sink. And that's why we fail, because we don't have little faith. And when they were coming to the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art the Son of Elohim. And throughout, they kept doubting him. Throughout, all the time he was here on earth, showing them things and telling them things and teaching them things to come. So don't feel bad. Just keep your faith. A mustard seed of faith is all you need. So don't feel bad that you don't have faith sometimes. Don't worry. And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place had knowledge of him, they sent out into all that country round about, and brought unto him all that were diseased, and besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment, and as many as touched were made perfectly whole. Just from having faith and touching his garment, they were made whole. So you see how amazing that is? Chapter 15. Then came to the Messiah scribes and Pharisees. There goes those scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thou disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? See, look at these traditions that the elders have. No, we shouldn't have traditions. For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of Elohim by your traditions? He's letting us know traditions. That's what a stumbling block for us. All these traditions that man have, do away with them. For Elohim commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. And see, all these people that not honoring their mother and father, he's saying, let them die the death. Now, he ain't telling y'all to go out there and kill your bad kids that don't honor your mother and father. He's not telling us to go kill them. Don't get me misunderstood, okay? But he's saying, he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. And now these people out here cursing their mother and father, and that's why they falling on the wayside, disrespecting their mother and their father. He told us not to do that. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, but whatsoever thou mayest be profit by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. This have ye made the commandment of Elohim of none effect by your traditions. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying. See, he even calling the Pharisees and the scribes and Sadducees and some of these priests, he referring to them as hypocrites. So we can't be a hypocrite. Us pastors and bishops, we can't be no hypocrites. We can't tell you to do one thing and then do another. We'll find ourselves being hypocrites. And we got to do away with these traditions. That's what he came to tell us. Throw out the traditions. This people draw it nearer unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. That's what he's telling us. A lot of these people in the church is saying they love him, but yet they heart with their lips, but yet their heart is far from him. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. And he's letting you know who he's talking about. He's talking about they worship me, they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. These men that got their own doctrine, they sitting around teaching it in the churches and on land. If you're not teaching through this Bible, don't listen to them. Wait until they bring out their Bibles and you read along with them so you know they're not twisting the words. And he called the multitude and said unto them, Hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defile a man. So what we eat, that doesn't defile a man, but that which come out of the mouth, this defile a man. So all them years when I was cursing, that was defiling me. And who would believe anything I was teaching if I'm sitting out here cursing and I'm always angry? And that's what my husband seemed to bring anger on me. And I said that's what the devil was doing. He was bringing anger my way. So I'm always angry with my husband because now nobody gonna believe. Even though I'm bringing them truth, they're not gonna believe me because I had so much anger in me. And that's why God had to make me can again. And I had to let God work on me. I had to stop trying to work on myself and let Him do the work. So now I'm becoming a lot better. You seeing a different me now. And I'm not gonna say that the anger gonna never come back out again. Don't get me wrong. I'm still in this flesh body. So understand that. Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? See, who are you? The Messiah is way above you. So who are you, to say these things? But he answered and said, which he didn't have to answer them, but the Messiah is nice and kind. So he answered them and said, every plant which my heavenly Father had not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be bland leaders of the bland. And if the bland lead the bland, both shall fall into the ditch. That's what he said about that. Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And the Messiah said, are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever enter in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, and blasphemies. See, he's telling us all these things. So when you see mankind doing all these things, from out of the heart proceed evil thoughts and murderers and adultery. When you see man doing all this, they ain't for the Most High. So if they turn to teach you something, they doing all these things, get away, because the truth is not in them. But now, with that being said, we all are not perfect, so just keep watching the fruit, and if it constantly be, not right, then it's time for you to go. These are the things which defile a man. He's telling us again. But to eat with unwashed hands defiled not a man. Then the Messiah went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciple came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's not only sent here to save us, the house of Israel, he also sent here to save others that are not his, or serving other people gods. If he can save them, he's going to do the same for them. That's what he's letting the disciples know. I'm not just here for the lost sheep of Israel, us, our people. He for others too, the Gentiles, the other people on the earth, other nations. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. Now, when she got under his blood, look what's going to happen. But he answered and said, it is not meant to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, true, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And then our Messiah answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. And that's what he was looking for. He was testing her faith, and her faith was strong. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. He didn't even have to go see the daughter, and she was made whole because your faith is the thing that's making us whole. You got to have that faith. And the Messiah departed from thence and came near unto the sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain and sat down there. And great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at the Messiah's feet, and he healed them. And so much that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to behold, and the lame to walk, and the blind to see. And they glorified our Elohim of Israel. Because we got a living God. That's why he can do all those things. Other people don't have a living God. They have to pray to a statue. Which is fine. The Most High let them pray to their statue. But when they come over to our living God, they're going to see some work. Because our living God, he can help you. Then the Messiah called his disciple unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days. See, he showed compassion toward them because they continued to hang out with him for 3 days. They followed him and have nothing to eat, and I would not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. And his disciples said unto him, Whence shall we have so much bread in the wilderness as to fill so great a multitude? And the Messiah said unto them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitudes. And see, that made me think about when I was out here trying to feed the homeless in Memphis, the people at the restaurant, J&J's, they started giving me extra food for the homeless people. When I told them what I was doing, it grew. Because of them, it grew. I was able to bring more food to the homeless people in Memphis and feed them because of that. So I want to thank J&J Food Restaurant for doing that. And I also used to buy food from a restaurant over there in South Memphis where my mom lived over there by Hamilton. I can't remember their name, but of the store, but they used to I used to buy food from them too. They didn't give extra food, but they, I used to buy food from the black people at that restaurant also. And they did eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. Look how many people he fed from that little 7 loaves and a few little fishes. See how good God is? The Most High is a blessing. He can do these things for us because he's a living God. And he sent away the multitude and took ship and came into the coast of Magdalene. The end. So he's telling us the story about the 5,000 he fed, the warning against the scribes, the Canaanite woman's faith, the feeding the multitude, and the death of John the Baptist. This is what the Messiah was teaching us. So I hope someone got something out of this message today and an understanding more for the young people, because that's who I'm trying to reach mainly, because the old people should be off of milk now and they should be on bread, solid food now. But I know that, until I came into Bishop Walker, I was still eating, still on milk for all my life in my walk until I came into Bishop Walker of Nashville, and he got me off of, he was taking me off my milk. So I thank him to this day. Boy, he was a blessing. He just don't know how much he blessed. He was a blessing for me. Thank you, Bishop Walker. You all have a blessed day. And thank you, Pastor Blunt, down in Valdosta, Georgia. I thank you too. Y'all have a blessed day. Good morning. Hallelujah.